In this tutorial, I'm going to cover a few different things. I won't stick to one topic. So I logged back in as the student after the teacher had looked at a few things. And in the previous tutorial, I had the student send in a response to an activity. And as you can see, it says draft here again. When we first turned it in, it said waiting teacher approval, and now it says draft. And when that happens, the teacher actually sends the assignment back. And that's just what I did. I sent it back. And down here, I made a comment on the student's activity, and I said, please finish this activity. So all I did was send it back to the student to let them know they needed to finish it. It wasn't quite complete. And so the student can then click on the activity and click edit to finish it. So they can go back through and make sure they do things correctly, or whatever it is the teacher tells them that they need to fix or change, and they can continue working. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it in again. And now again, it says waiting teacher approval. Of course, we would hope that the student would actually make some changes before they turn it back in. But then it'll go back to the teacher now, so the teacher can look at it one more time. That was one of the things I wanted to cover. Also, you can see that this student's inbox has 4 notifications. And so we're going to click on there to see what those notifications are. And under messages, there's nothing new, but under notifications, there is. So we'll just go ahead and click on this tab to see what's happening. So here we can see the different things that have happened since the student last logged in. Here it says that Mrs. Weekly commented on your post. Please finish this activity. One of the items that the student had sent to try to publish to the blog, that requested it to be published to the blog, the teacher has approved it and published it. Here is another one. The teacher commented, great work on this post. Also here, it says that the teacher has sent back your work for review, like I just showed you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just click back to journal so you can see the different things here too. Here is that one post that we had a notification about. It says, great work. The teacher commented on that one. And this was stuff that we had already looked at before, nothing new here. The other thing I want to talk about is this add button. I don't believe I talked about it in any of the other tutorials, but once you click on this add, it automatically brings you to this screen where you can add different items to the journal. You can add a photo. It'll take a picture using your device's camera. You can add a drawing. You can add a video. You can add a file that you have saved to your device. You can also add a note or a link to something. So here I'm just going to give an example. So maybe a student has a question for the teacher or something, and they can just pull up this notepad and talk to the teacher. So we'll just write a little note here. I just put Mrs. Weekly, I need some help with keyboarding. Can you please help me out? Question mark. And I'm just going to go ahead and click the green check mark. And this will show them again a final copy before they send it. And they can record their own voice also in the note. So if they wanted to just talk to the teacher, they could do it that way. And then if something's not quite right, they can go back and edit it. Here they can turn it into the teacher, or they can save it as a draft for later. So maybe they just wanted to take a note, maybe a question they might have, and then they don't want to turn it into the teacher yet. They can just save it as a draft and turn it in later or delete it later. But I'm going to go ahead and send that to the teacher. And again, it'll say right here, waiting for teacher approval. I think that is the basics of what I wanted to talk about. The only other thing I have is some of your students will be in more than one class. And to get to that class, all they have to do is click right here on their name, and it shows how many classes they're in. And they can toggle back and forth between their different teachers. And the setup is exactly the same for every teacher, with the exception of that blog button. As you can see, Mrs. Smith does not have the blog.